What if the most powerful mind wasn't hard like stone, but fluid like water? Musashi knew this. While other warriors relied on force, he relied on flow. They were rigid, predictable, breakable. He moved like a river, shifting shape, slipping past defenses, crashing only when the moment was perfect. This wasn't poetry, it was strategy, it was survival. In his legendary Book of Five Rings, Musashi wrote an entire section, the Book of Water, to reveal how the most dangerous warrior don't resist. They adapt, they observe, and when the opening comes, they strike with precision. In this video, we'll break down Musashi's water mindset, not just for battle, but for life. You'll learn how to read people and situations without being seen, how to stay calm, yet lethal, how to bend but never break, and how to dominate without ever forcing. Because when your mind flows like water, nothing can stop you, and no one can see you coming. Principle 1. Flow without form. Most people think strength comes from structure, from having routines, fixed plans, and rigid beliefs, from being unshakable, but water teaches the opposite. Musashi wrote, "Water adopts the shape of its container. It flows freely, filling space. In strategy, too, you must adapt to your opponent's form." In other words, stop trying to control the shape of the world. Start becoming the shape that responds to it. He didn't mean to be passive. He meant to be formless, ready for anything, committed to nothing. In a duel, Musashi didn't show up with a predictable rhythm or strategy. He studied, waited, shifted. He became exactly what his opponent couldn't counter. And it worked because most people, even now, are predictable. They come in with a style, a habit, a role, an identity. They're the tough one, the people pleaser, the nice guy. They telegraph their moves before they make them, but when you're water, no one knows what to expect. You can be gentle, you can be brutal, you can disappear, or crash like a wave. You become untouchable because you become unreadable. In life, we often resist what's happening. We want the world to change shape for us. We want people to behave the way we planned. We want to force outcomes to match our expectations. And that's where we suffer. Because the world doesn't care about our expectations. It moves, it shifts, it bends. And if you stay rigid, you break. So stop trying to hold your form. Stop clinging to the idea of who you think you should be. Start moving, start adjusting, start responding. Musashi didn't win because he was stronger. He won because he didn't resist what was in front of him. He became exactly what the moment demanded, and you can too. Principle 2. See without being seen. Musashi didn't just train to strike, he trained to see. In water, clarity allows reflection. So too must the mind reflect its opponent. Before most duels, Musashi arrived early, not to fight, but to observe. He watched how his opponent walked, breathed, spoke, drank, even how they treated strangers. Because every movement, every habit, every word is a signal. He didn't react. He didn't reveal. He simply absorbed. Because if you see clearly but no one sees you back, you control the fight before it begins. It's the same in real life. That coworker who interrupts everyone, they're not confident. They're scared of silence. That person who brags constantly, they don't believe they're enough without it. That tough guy online, probably afraid of being irrelevant. Most people perform, but if you watch long enough, they show you everything. And that's what Musashi mastered, reading people like a reflection in still water. But here's the key. Water only reflects clearly when it's calm. If your mind is stirred up by anger, ego, emotion, you won't see anything. You'll misread threats. You'll react to shadows. You'll fight the wrong battle. Musashi stayed calm, not because it looked cool, but because it gave him vision. So train your stillness. Let others talk, boast, posture. You just watch, quietly, and when the time is right, you'll know exactly where to strike. Principle 3. Become still, then strike. Musashi's kills weren't emotional. They were timed. The timing of water is not random, he wrote. It waits, and then it crashes. You see, water doesn't fight the rocks in its way. It flows around them until the pressure builds. Then, without warning, it breaks through. Musashi fought the same way. He didn't waste energy proving strength. He didn't swing wildly to look dominant. He waited. Let the opponent tighten up. Let them get frustrated. Let them swing first, and then he ended it with one strike. That's not passivity. That's composure weaponized. But here's the thing. This principle doesn't just apply to battle. It applies to conversation, to conflict, to life. When someone disrespects you publicly, don't flinch. When they try to trigger you, don't respond immediately. When pressure builds, hold still. Because most people reveal themselves when things get tense. They panic. They overreact. They make the first move and lose because of it. Musashi didn't just train his sword, he trained his timing. The world worships speed, but speed without timing is chaos. Stillness creates clarity, and clarity makes you lethal. So don't be afraid to wait. Let the moment cook. Let the enemy burn their energy. Let the drama expose itself, and then strike once, strike clean, and walk away. Principle 4. Adapt to dominate. Musashi never trained to win one kind of fight. He trained to win any fight. You must understand every stance, every rhythm, every weapon, and yet not rely on any of them. To him, fixed form was death. Because the moment you become predictable, you become targetable. And yet this is how most people live. They cling to identity, to one strategy, to one way of seeing the world. I'm the nice guy. I'm the tough one. I'm a loyal person. I always do what's right. These identities feel strong until the world changes, until loyalty is exploited, until kindness is mistaken for weakness, until the rules no longer apply. And then what happens? They break. But Musashi never clung to a single self. He flowed between forms. He studied every weapon but committed to none. He became whatever the battle demanded. And that's why no one could pin him down. In life, you'll be tested the same way. Your plan will fall apart. Your partner will change. Your business, your friends, your body, your role will all evolve or fall away. The people who survive that aren't the strongest. They're the most adaptable. Because to adapt is not to surrender. It's to stay alive. It's to dominate in silence while everyone else resists and drowns. Musashi didn't fear change. He became change, and that made him unstoppable. So stop asking, how do I stay the same? And start asking, what does this moment require me to become? Because that question, it keeps you dangerous. It keeps you relevant. It keeps you free. Final lesson. Water wins over time. Water doesn't rush. It doesn't panic. It doesn't need permission to move. It simply finds a way. It wears down cliffs, not through force, but through quiet, relentless presence. It breaks boulders not with speed, but with persistence. It cuts through steel, not in seconds, but with pressure applied over time. That's what Musashi understood. That's why he didn't race to attack. He didn't need to prove strength. He embodied it. Musashi didn't win because he was faster. He won because he was clearer, calmer, more flexible, more aware. While others shouted, he listened. While others tensed, he relaxed. While others swung blindly, he waited. He didn't force victory, he flowed into it, quietly, cleanly, completely, and you can too. Because life will test you again and again. People will disrespect you, situations will spin out of your control, pressure will mount, injustice will sting. And everything in you will want to react. But you must remember, water doesn't react, it responds. So next time you're tested, don't get louder, don't get tougher, don't get angry, get fluid, get still, get sharp. Be slow to speak, precise with your movement, focused in your stillness. Let others burn themselves out chasing control. Because once your mind becomes like water, no insult can penetrate, no situation can shake you, no opponent can predict you, no chaos can contain you. You don't just survive, you reshape the world around you, you flow through it, and you become unstoppable.